Section 15A of the Employment Equity Amendment Act makes or gives the minister way too much power with regards to determining certain racial quotas within certain sectors. And then this act also gives enormous penalty powers. A company with more than 50 employees that does not adhere to the requirements of this act will be punished by fining them with 10% of their turnover, not 10% of profit, 10% of turnover. And if you take away 10% of the turnover of a company, most companies in this country will not be able to survive. If you are an Indian person in KwaZulu-Natal or a colored person in the Western Cape, and all of a sudden countrywide geo standards are applied with regards to employment equity in your specific area that you live, it will mean that an Indian person in KwaZulu-Natal will not be able to get a job, or colored people in the Western Cape. And that is discrimination. It cannot work. This act or this amendment will not contribute towards job creation. Every South African must have a fair opportunity and fair access to have a job. If we want to rescue this country, we've got to grow the economy and we've got to create jobs. If it comes to whether the DA supports redress or not, absolutely. And we are the best implementers of real redress and not fake redress that is benefiting a few of the elites on top, but redress that is really benefiting every South African on ground level and working up from there. It is not the job of government to create jobs. It is the job and task of government to create an environment that is conducive for attracting investment and for the private sector to grow. It is the private sector that creates jobs. And the Democratic Alliance has long been advocating for less bureaucratic, stringent measures that are standing in the way of the private sector really growing jobs in this country. We must trust people to do what they are good with. People in their own private companies know how to run that company. They know how to improve that company, which will in turn grow the economy and create jobs. And that is the primary thing that we must do with regards to job creation.
DA at Work, rescuing South Africa.